Welcome to another episode of DD on the Spot. As always, I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. You should recognize our guest here today. We have Gabriela back on the podcast. It's been a little over a year since we last had her on. And yeah, she's just going to give us an update on what she's been up to and just talk all things health and fitness. But most importantly, Gabriela, thank you so much for coming back on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So let's just dig right into it. What have you been up to the last year? I mean, we had you on last September, so it's been a little bit more than a year, but what have you been up to since then?
I mean, it's more than a year because I think I wasn't on college when we spoke together first time.
I think it was
I'm
September of
not
last year, so a
sure.
little bit. So it's like a year and like 4 months, yeah.
Yeah, so I was on college, okay. Well, what happened? Where should I start? Well, I got the IBB Pro card, so I'm now IBB Pro. That's maybe the most important. Um, I'm on last year in college, so I'll be finishing in 5 months, and just some gut health issues, some shoulder issue. Well, everything's fine.
What happened to your shoulder?
I'm not sure. It's still in process to know what happened. It's been 4 months, so I just can't train a lot right now, and that's why I wasn't do shows on in autumn last year. So yeah, just problem.
How hard was it to deal with that mentally, just realizing that, like, hey, you got to take a year off and you can't train as much?
I mean, I'm in college, and the last year is the hardest and it's tough right now. So I was just okay. Instead of show, I will work on my thesis, bachelor thesis, and studying. And in 5 months I have graduation. So I was sure I won't do show in spring because it's just hard to focus on everything. You can't be dieting and in prep while you're studying for graduation. It's just not happening because your brain's not working. So it's yeah. For me, like more than a year off from shows is like I'm losing. I'm losing some time and something. But I think it will be better when I step on stage next time because I have more time to recovery, and more rest. And when I will be do show the next time, there will not be college, and I quit my job, so I'll be more free. And I think I will be self-employed, so it's just so much better in prep when you don't have to wake up for work and stuff. So
What's your thesis on? What are you writing about?
I'm writing about metabolism of in sports of sportsman and sportswoman. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely applies to what you're doing. And I think with the background, it really, really helps. And yeah, and just, well, first off, what was that moment like when you were on stage and they announced your name and you realized, oh my God, I won my pro card?
um, I must say it was so quick. I didn't realize that for the first time. And actually it was a small show, so we were only in 3 girls there. So, but I must say in NPC when I was in IBB and then I changed to NPC, it was so different. Every girl was just in shape and completely prepped, and I was like, "Wow, okay, that will be interesting." But yeah, I just I wished for that, and I'm so happy. I finally got what I wanted, and now I'm finally here. IFBB Pro. Finally, this dream came true.
And what was the first thing that you did to celebrate when you won your IFBB pro card?
Um, I had a beer. It was in Norway, in Oslo, and I've never been there before. So I was just enjoying the time there, you know. I was with my friend, he's living there. So we went for a beer and some food. I had hot dogs. Two hot dogs, yeah. And just I mean, there was first show of the year of the season, so I was just another prep was just pro card now. Okay, rest for a bit, but you have to go another show. So I'm I'm not into celebrating a lot, you know. So for me, to celebrate in this gym.
Hey, that's why you're in the sport that you're in. If you weren't, then I would say like, hey, what's she doing? But do you? I know this may sound kind of stupid, but do you wish that you won your pro card later in the year, other than the first show? Because then once you win it, then you have to do all these other shows at a pro level. Do you wish that it was maybe at the end, so then you had a full year then to work on it, even though you didn't compete this last year? But in hindsight,
Um, no. For me, it's really great. You know, you have first show in NPC and win the pro card for the first time. It's incredible. And you don't have to go to IBB Pro right now. You can have the year off. But I wanted I wanted to know how I look in front of them, you know, and next to the pros. So I knew I won't be first or second. would would be crazy, but I just wanted to step on stage next to them.
what was that like when you step on stage with the pro physiques?
Um, it was it felt so great because I saw I'm not so small, you know, and I can catch them. I just miss less fat, so more shape. Yeah, that's only thing missing.
No, and that's, I mean, if anyone sees any photos of her, she's definitely not small for an IFBB figure pro. She's definitely on the upper edge there. So yeah, that's definitely, that's definitely obvious there. But I mean, on top of being an IFBB pro, just mentally, did it feel like you had a huge weight lifted off your shoulders? No pun intended. When you did win that pro card, seeing as how you've worked so hard for it.
Mentally, it's not the same like being an amateur, you know, because it's just different. You have to be in the sport like, every day. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, I mean, when I realized I'm a pro, I knew it's like 100% or nothing at the moment. But in off season, like, I mean, after the shows that year, I was struggling with gut issues and some health. So now I just have to put the health on top my things. So if the health is not completely 100%, the shape for show will be not great, you know. So the health first.
Which I appreciate that, because a lot of people don't do that, and then they, really bad things happen. But once, I know you started to realize that, like, oh, hey, things were taking a slight downward turn, so we got to stop for a little bit and get things better. And plus, like you said, focusing on college too. I've talked to some absolute psychopaths that still try to do bodybuilding in their last year of college, and I'm like, well, more power to you, but like, I couldn't even imagine my last year
Yeah,
of college doing anything with bodybuilding, because that would be
yeah.
just a nightmare with the scheduling and everything. And so you quit your job. What plans do you have once you graduate? Do you have any plans of what you're going to do then after that?
I have some plans. Yeah, I found my man in UK, so it's almost 2,000 kilometers far from me. So I'm just happy I can see him for a longer time than weekend or a week. So maybe I move there. And if he's watching, he just knows.
Oh, you think the weather is gloomy in the Czech Republic? Just wait until you get to London or England. Good God, it's gloomy over there. But
It's almost same. It's almost the same. I don't care about the weather. Um, you have love there. So what about the weather?
So how'd you guys meet? What's the backstory?
um, what's funny? He just hit me on Instagram with a random question, and I mostly don't don't um, don't answer on questions on Instagram because it's mostly like "Hi, how are you?" or something, and I just don't have time to chat with 200 people or So I just answered him, and that was it. I just fell in love quickly, and after a month we were chatting on Instagram. I just decided to go to see him. So I just bought the flight ticket and I was like, hey, I have the ticket. I will be there this weekend. And if you come or not, it's up on you, you know?
I mean, it would be funny if he didn't come, just because you'd be like, you travel all the way over there and he doesn't show up. Like that would be funny, but it'd be sad at the same time. But I'm glad he showed up, and I'm glad you guys had that, because that's that is so awesome. How much more does it mean to have that support from someone else as well, especially close in your life? Because I've talked to some people where just that support that you can get means so much more.
Yeah, it means. And I must say, I was single for years and my family is not so supportive, or I don't have anyone, just the coach or maybe one friend, and that's all. But he is so supportive, and well, we are not living together now, so it's not the same. I mean, it will be different if we are, because I know how he is supportive, and just can't wait to live it. Yeah, so.
That sounds so great. And I just wanted to get on your thesis for one question here. So, what have been some things that you found when it comes to metabolism in athletes? What's like the backstory, and has there been anything that you found that what you were fascinated by?
Not much. I do the sport for years, so it's not so new for me. I was studying more about like menopause and which type of workout works the best for muscles, or what are differences in menopause, sarcopenia, and stuff like that. So
What have you found is the type of exercise that works best for muscles?
it's just training.
Oh, I was
Resistance.
just asking because I thought maybe you found like a secret thing where you're like, okay, if you do this, like it's gonna be even better. But yeah, of course, everyone's strength trained. But I thought she had like a little secret hidden away somewhere where she's gonna be like, no, if you do this,
It's pretty simple,
yeah.
but I think a lot of people are trying to find some secret, but it's really simple. You just work hard, work smart, and eat the right food. So
Every day there's 10 different BS ways to work out that get invented, and it's I just love seeing how ridiculous they've gotten, especially in this day and age. I mean, I was old enough to remember the shake weight and all that stuff, obviously, where you're just like, okay, what are we doing here, guys? Like just you don't even need weights if you're getting started, everyone. So it's fascinating to see how things really do take off, and how stick to the basics. I mean, people have been doing some certain exercises for hundreds of years and they do produce results. And yeah, but with metabolism, I hate marathon runners and runners in general, just because they have that metabolism where they can literally eat almost anything and get away with it just because they burn off so much. So screw those people. First of all, I don't like them. But no, metabolism in athletes actually does really fascinate me, especially when you can look at like power lifters, and then you can look at like marathon runners, you can look at other types of sports and just how different they are. So that's why when you said you were doing their thesis on that, I was like, oh, that seems like an interesting topic. But and just with everything that you've been through in this last year, have your plans changed at all? I mean, obviously you're still doing with the shoulder thing, but do you have any plans at all for this coming year, what you're going to do, or are you just going to wait and see what happens?
I have plans already. I'm prepping for autumn. It's September, October, something like that. And I was crazy a bit. I wanted to do show in spring before graduation. However, just shape wasn't in the good shape. And with the gut issues, it's not working. Because if you are if you don't have your health for 100%, shape will not be there. That's for sure. So I know health first, and if it will be possible to manage the health, I know I will be able to do show in autumn. So now it's just some vision, you know, and yeah, we'll see.
Has the shoulder gotten any better on its own, or is it still as painful as it was when you first got it months ago, or is it slowly getting better itself?
It's getting worse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's been months. I was I was seeing an orthopedist, but it's getting worse. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's normally not a good sign, everyone out there. So if you have something that keeps getting worse, and did you just wake up one day and felt it, or did you like maybe train something wrong, or do you have any idea what might have caused it?
I don't I don't remember, but with my experience, if anything hurts, I know I can train, and even if it hurts, I only train with pain. And I know if it's not better in after like 3 weeks, maybe, I know there's something wrong. So I think I wasn't, I didn't stop training, you know. So I think it's just getting worse because of me a little bit. Because I'm still training. I can't stop training. I just love it, and yeah. So I some exercises I can't train, like shoulder press, chest press, but you can use whatever you want. So another workout, another exercises. So I'm trying the less painful thing.
Well, I hope you get it figured out because I don't want to have to be like telling people, "Oh yeah, she competed this year on a on a messed up shoulder." Everyone, so show her some slack, everyone. But no, and that again, that just shows the dedication. Where yeah, you're gonna need to get your workout in regardless, and just yeah, and it just shows the drive that bodybuilders have, which separates them from a lot of the people in the general public. Where it's like you have that mindset where like I need to train, I need to get it done. Have you dealt with a lot of injuries before, or is this like one of the first major ones that you've had?
I think this is the one of major because the injuries because wasn't so big and wasn't took so long. So yeah, it was just small injuries, some inflammation for a while or something just from a heavy workout, like when you are doing too much. So you just slow down a bit and it's getting better, but this is really bad.
Have you tried heating pads at all?
Hitting what?
Heating
Hitting?
pads. We have them
No.
here. Where yeah, it's just a we have it here at the house right here where you can plug it into like a wall and then it heats up and then you just put it on the area and then if you let less for half an hour, sometimes it like just relaxes things and stresses them, or they do like that icy hot, which I don't know if they have over there in the Czech Republic where it gets cold at first then it
Um,
warms it up, but yeah.
yeah, something similar, but the doctor injected me corticoids with collagen, and it worked before for my elbow, but it didn't work out now. So there must be something worse. Yeah.
Well, please tell me you're not going and still getting massages then, because I couldn't imagine anything more painful with a bad shoulder to get massage. Okay, good. Good.
Now it doesn't make sense to
I've talked to a lot of
go
people
for
that don't have
massages.
common knowledge, though. That's the problem. And then they'll go and have it happen to them. And I'm just like, you're just making it worse. And they're like, oh, well, it felt good for like a day. And I was like, yeah, but then your shoulder's like bright purple by the next day and it's not good. So the people that I talk to, Gabriela, the stuff that I learn, the stuff mainly it's what not to do. But, hey, it's getting better and better. But other than your shoulder problems, is there an area that you think that you've improved on the last year since we talked to you of your physique?
Mm. I think my off season this year is much better than last year because my first off season ever was 2 years ago or three. Oh, wait. Yeah, 2023. I won a pro card. I think so. So that was my first off season, and I weighted the same, and it just looked really terrible. And my off season every year is getting better, even with same weight. It's just getting better. So this is something. great time for me.
What do you think makes it
Um,
better?
it's just the process. I think the off season diet, and you're doing it more clearly than just having a junk food. Yeah, so yeah, I was eating pretty clean this year and last year in off season. So even between Christmas, I wasn't cheating a lot. So yeah,
What is your favorite cheat food to have?
it's super hard question. Cheat. I would say sushi. Yeah, I just love sushi. I love rice, so I just could eat ounces of rice.
The only problem with sushi is that I gotta eat something that's cooked. So if it's like uncooked, like I just don't like it. I got too much in me that really just doesn't enjoy that. So I've had it a handful of times, and it's all. I mean, it tastes good, but like it just doesn't. I don't know,
Yeah.
uncooked stuff for me. But I do appreciate sushi. So yeah, that would definitely be a good option to have. But we're in the winter time now. I mean, I'm in Minnesota where it's what, like 5 degrees outside and it's warming, and that's 5 degrees Fahrenheit for all the European people out there. That's like what, -20 in Celsius or something. So it's very cold. And how do you deal with the winter, especially? I mean, you're in the Czech Republic; it gets cold there as well. Does it is it harder for you to go out and train, or is it easy? Because I know some people, when it gets super cold, especially if they're really lean, it becomes almost unbearable. Because if you're like a skeleton and then it's like really cold outside, it's almost impossible. But do you struggle with that at all, or is it just still all no
Mm,
problem at all for you?
I'm okay with that, and I'm in off season, so mostly mostly hot. Yeah,
You
no
got
problem.
again.
I'm
Well, that's why
mostly
people here put on the winter weight as well, where you got to put on the little extra pounds to help you in the winter. So
yeah, I'm used to get up at 5 or 6 right now, almost every day, and I go for a 3 kilometers walk. And this morning was like -7 degrees here, and I was just 30-minute walk. It was nice.
have you always been an early bird? Have you always been someone that gets up early?
Yeah, yeah, mostly. I like that,
Yeah.
just get up before everybody else and go for a walk. It's dark outside before sunrise and just feels great.
I mean, the minute I got out of high school, I took all the late classes in college, and I probably, unless I mean, I have once a week I'll get up at like 6 or 7 just because my sleep is always messed up. But normally, and I work later at night too, so I normally get off around like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So then I stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I get up around like 9 or 10. So, but I hear you bodybuilders, yeah, you guys, most of them, you gotta get up early and just yeah, that's
Well, I have to get up at 4 a.m.
yeah.
to work
I don't endorse that,
sometimes.
everyone. Yeah, don't. And I say people, if you can, don't. But again, if you're like her and you have that dedication, go for it. 4 a.m. God, and it's depressing too, especially during the winter when it's still dark outside and you get up. That's one thing that for me, I was always
No,
just
I
like,
don't think so. It's not for me, I'm just um I'm I'm not depressed anytime. I'm just positive person.
I become more cynical the more and more I've done this. So that's my problem here. But no, it's always nice to have a great positive attitude, and I wish I had it more often now, and I wish more people did, because it's definitely something to have. And do you do so? Are your classes a lot online, or do you go to a place, or
Yeah, I gotta go there. Just only for weekend. I have distance school.
what reactions do you get from classmates who see you just this IFBB figure pro walking in the room?
Actually, I'm not sure if if anyone knows what it means to be IBB Pro. You know, I just feel normal, and they are not telling me something about me or my shape or my muscles. So I think it's normal, and I think I um I just don't realize that, that shape, because it's normal for me right now.
Well, at least someone's not coming up to you and being like, "God, you look really small right now," because that would be
That's me. That's
Gabriela, you
me.
look so tiny right now.
I'm I'm standing in front of a mirror every morning and I'm telling myself, "Oh, you're so small. You're smaller than yesterday."
So how do you deal with that mentally though? Because like we talked about before I think we did this on the first podcast, but like once you sign up to be a bodybuilder, you're signing a deal with the devil where it's like you're never going to be big enough, you're never going to be good enough. How do you deal with that?
Um, I'm staying calm and I'm trying to don't think about that. Just I'm trying to not look in the mirror every morning. Just yeah, it's process. You just have to get to your mindset that it's process and it's part of that process. So it was really tough my first off season when I was used to be in shape every year and almost every day. And then it was 25 kilos up. It was tough. It was really tough, but I would say hard work pays off. And I
25,
gained
25 kilos. Jeez, that's 55 pounds.
I gained 5 or 6 kilos of muscle mass that year because before I wasn't in off season for 3 years. And you're always in deficit, always like dieting. Shows are every half year, so it just pays off. My first off season was almost a year, and I gained 6 kilos of muscles, and it was crazy. It was under the fat, it was hiding.
Do you ever look back at that and think to yourself, like, how was I able to do a prep for 3 years, basically?
Yeah, of course I am. I mean, it was my first show, and then I had a coach, and she was telling me like, now you can go to shows every 6 months before you are in senior class, and it was the drive, the drive for first time on stage, and um, I love that. Almost 2 years, and after like 2.5 years, my body and my mind was telling me to stop, and that was the first time I realized it's enough, and I need to rest. I need some recovery time, some off season, and it was really hard because all the gut issues and this digestion issues is from the 3 years without off season. So it's hard.
Is the gut pain, is it down from where it was, or is it oh, please don't tell me it's like your shoulder where it's getting worse and worse.
No, it's getting better.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just when you are struggling with gut issue, it's not for a week or month. This is for a year or two or maybe more, depends what is it, right? And yeah, so it's just long way.
I've talked to people that have been dealing it for like almost a decade. So the moment you said gut health, I was like, oh God, that could be a while. But it's something that I found is manageable. But then there are other times where it just depends from person to person as well. So I'm glad that it's
Yeah.
getting better for you. Have you worked on your posing at all this off season? And you think you've gotten better at posing?
Nope. I must confess, I'm lazy. I do photos on check-ins, every check-in, and that's it. But I must start. I know it. I know.
Jeez, you got a lot to work on now before September, October. But no, it's yeah, I
You
think you'll be
know,
fine.
I quit my job and I must stay there for 2 months, like till April. So after that, I will be free and I will have more time for resting, training, and everything, so I can pose more.
They don't make you. You aren't just able to leave like the day of that you quit there. They make you stay an extra couple months.
Yeah, because I love my job. I must say I love my job, and my manager is a really good person, and there is not much workers. So I was just telling her I want to quit, but after 2 months.
Okay, good, because I thought it was one of those things where they're telling you like, "Oh no, you're not leaving. You're staying an extra 2 months." Where like they forced you to, and you're like, "No, I
No,
really
no,
want to
no.
leave." Okay, good, because I was just clarifying that for everyone out there because I was like, God, in the Czech Republic, do they do stuff differently than they do over here? Where it's like, no, you're gonna stay here for a couple of months, no matter what. So hey, that is nice and
No,
just
I'm not pushing on that,
yeah.
so
Well,
it's okay
and
for me.
again, the way that you look, I don't know if she would be the one telling you like, no, you gotta stay here, and then you'd be like, okay, really? Just take a look at me. Do I really have to? So that's again, one of the benefits there. But
And I must say I love my job because that's the only time when I can meditate and rest and just not think about anything. Because now when I'm home and I have one exam left, and I'm really stressed right now because I think I won't make it. So when I go to work, I just rest, and my mind is resting.
you do realize you're making your job look pretty damn easy if all you do is go there and rest. So can I have your job then when you quit? Then if all you do is just go there and rest and meditate, jeez.
Yeah, I'm mostly yeah. I'm just going to meditate for 8 hours to work.
Meanwhile, I'm doing like 30,000 steps, loading trucks with huge boxes and dealing with other stuff. So again, yeah, anytime, yeah, I would be willing to relocate then for a job where I just meditate and no, but it's great that you have that
No, you have to
opportunity.
learn that. It's not that easy. You
Oh, I
have to
know, I know,
learn.
I know. Nothing ever comes easy. I know. I've been on this planet long enough to realize that, but no,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good it's a good place to have where you can just, meditate and relax for a couple hours because yeah, the bodybuilding life can be very stressful. So, how are you planning on managing that stress when you won't have that 8 hours to just go and meditate?
I will have the time at home, so I can go for a walk. I can meditate at home. But right now, I don't have the time when I'm home. So that's what my work is there.
Yeah. No, the only problem that I had is that I worked from home for a little bit during COVID and then it's just when you do have that more free time though, sometimes you just get so out of sync because you're like, oh, I'm not going to do anything then. And then like that's like, oh, I didn't do anything for like a month. And then you're just like, oh, okay, well, what's going on? So that's the only reason I warn people. It's like, make sure that you definitely have a plan written out because sometimes if you get that little bit more freedom, it can really derail things because you just don't have everything, all set
No,
in
I can
stone.
enjoy that freedom.
Yeah.
I really can enjoy that. I see myself like 1 month in Italy, 1 month in Spain,
Yeah.
1 month in UK.
God, you guys and your vacations are absolutely ridiculous. Can I tell you, I get 2 weeks off a year for my job.
I know, I know.
It's
We have
pathetic.
5.
It's pathetic. And then we get like we get a week off for sick. So like if you don't get sick that much for a year, then you can take those off. But it's just it is. I look at and then yeah, and then I know places like I know you're not in France, but I know like places like France they only work like 36 to 32 hours a week, and then just oh my god, we need to do something with that there. Where that's
Yeah, I
just
know.
you're getting me all depressed now. We started talking. We were getting all positive now. Now I'm thinking about how crappy my my life is with my job. But no, it's great. Talking to you makes me a little bit happier. So I do enjoy that. But when it comes to one of the things I like to ask people now is, especially when it comes to coaching, because everyone has a coach a lot of times, and there's so many coaches out there that are I'd say ill-informed where a lot of people they just do, they might do one show or they might be having the most little experience. There might be someone like me who's like, yeah, I can be a coach now where there's more bad coaches than there are good coaches. So for you, what makes a coach a good coach and what makes you and your coach personally like really gel together well, you think?
For me, the first thing is communication. That's for me the first thing I have to know it's working. And I think, I don't know, because I had only 3 coaches before. So I don't know, but with one of them, the communication wasn't great. So that's why I quit with her. Because it's just, for me, it's number one.
Yeah.
If I need to know something, I want the answer in a few hours maximum, not 1 or 2 days, and just communicate.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that I hear of all the time. When that's a huge one, communication and just being open about it. And you mentioned when you moved to
And second,
yeah, go.
the second thing for me is to work with everyone individually. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, don't even get me started on the coaches that just say, "Hey, here's my cookie cutter, program that I've given to the same 50 athletes. Go and do it." And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm 50 pounds heavier than the other person that you gave it to, and so it's like it's going to work a little bit differently for me. So yeah, I absolutely despise that. And you mentioned when you moved to MPC, you saw a lot of changes. What were some of the biggest changes that you saw just in the competition or the competitors when you made that change?
The competitors. I was only on 3 shows, so I don't know about the shows, but the competitors, because they are just prepped really great, and they are also doing it for years, not for 2 year, but years. And have the best coaches, have the best time for them, and all best. So that's the difference. Because I was working in my work, have college. Some you have to go to the gym, but they have like all day for themselves, and that's really different. Because I have like 3 or 4 things I have to do in one day, and they have only gym, food, rest, and so.
The people that have full-time jobs definitely get more of my respect when they have to, really balance things out like that, especially the pros. And there are quite a few of them, and those are the ones where I just look at them and I'm like, first of all, how are you able to do this? And second of all, more power to you that you're able to accomplish this. But if you could go back and talk to your younger self when you were just getting started working out, what would be the best piece of advice you would give her?
Get the knowledge, definitely. Because when I started, I was trusting my coach, and I wasn't studying things. Just listen to her because I trusted her, and it was bad. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that, So definitely, this is it. Just get knowledge, do more off season, and do the prep better. That's definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I asked you this question last time, and I asked guests this every single time they come on. If there was one thing you could change about the sport of bodybuilding, if someone were to walk up to you and say, Gabriela, we made the decision, you can change one thing about it, what would be one thing that you'd like to see changed? And you can do more than one if you have more than one.
Mm, that's a hard question. I don't know. I think I'm not sure if I would change anything. Really, I'm not sure right now. Maybe
Prize
in
money,
1 week
maybe?
or two. Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone wants the money, but it is fair. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Like in top 3 or 4 have the money.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's some improvements to me maybe, but I think it's a lot better than people bring it out as. And yeah, that, is definitely the case. And yeah,
And maybe one thing, I mean, like politics, because I think some competitors have just something what gives them the first place,
yep.
and that's it. And I know in Olympia, like Mr. Olympia, the show, it's not about the shape anymore. Like it's not the main thing there. It's about your sponsors, your coaches, and stuff like that. So even if I'm in Olympia someday, I don't think I will place in a good place, even if I'm in the best shape ever, because I don't have sponsors. I don't have the best coaches on earth. That's
Well, I'm telling you this right now, based off photos I've seen of you, if you don't place well at an Olympia that you go to, that would prove that there is something definitely wrong with that organization.
Yeah.
So everyone out there, and I'll share some photos of her too while she's talking, so everyone can see that, like, yeah, that's if that does happen, like, we need to definitely have an investigation into this because yeah, no, she definitely has it. And have you ever thought about, because like just even looking at your upper body, like you have probably one of the best upper bodies of a figure competitor that I've ever seen. Have you thought about eventually moving up to physique, or do you always just want to stay at figure?
Um, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about doing one show in physique and one show in figure in one season because I wanted to see the difference and get feedback from coaches, not coaches, the
Judges.
judges. Yeah. But for me, it's more about health than muscles, and I just want to stay healthy. And I know that physique, it's it's not the same. It's just you have to,
You push things a little bit in physique. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
yeah, you have to be bigger, leaner, and it's not for me. Yeah,
That's when
but
things
I
get a little
wanted,
more interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to do one show just to see how things go.
Well, plus I think every category should have like one or two of the physique poses, just because that's bodybuilding. Like you should have a front double in any category, just because when people think about bodybuilding, that's one of the poses. And you
Mhm.
should maybe do like a back pose or something like that, where it's like for figure, just doing the regular mandatories and just doing the side poses. It's like you gotta let them mix it up a little bit. So that's one thing that I would change about the sport myself, honestly, too.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's boring, just four poses.
Hey, I agree with you, 100% on that. And Gabriella, I mean, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and talking to us again. It's always an absolute delight to talk to you. And everyone, I'll leave a link to her Instagram page down below. Buyer beware, you will get inspired to work out, and just look out for everyone, because she's definitely an up and comer that I think is going to make a huge impact on the sport in the years to come. And again, thank you so much for coming back on. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, this is Ryan Johnson, DD on the spot, signing off. Have a great day, everyone.